What's up guys, it's LEMONSQARE. In today's video, we'll be comparing the Cubicle Labs Little Magic to the Cubicle Labs MF3RS2M, along with their stock non-magnetic counterparts. Let's jump right into it. So guys, I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, but now I'm going to be uploading a bit more consistently rather than just the one video a month thing. Most likely a video every week, maybe 2 videos a week if I have a lot of time, because now I'm out of any sports right now. Also, I just finished finals week, so yeah, I have a lot of time now on my hands and a lot of time to make good videos for you guys. So let's jump right into it. The Cubicle Labs Little Magic M. This cube is amazingly good for its extremely low price point. It's $20 and fully magnetic, and is serviced by Cubicle Labs. So a while ago, I got the stock non-magnetic version in stickerless, not in white plastic like you see here, and I was a really big fan of it. I really liked its smooth stability with this nice, crunchy, fast feeling turning, and for $5, it was pretty great. So I decided to get the magnetic version of this because I felt it was a little bit unstable, a little bit fast, and man, did the magnets help. So this was magnetized very well with Cubicle Labs, and we'll look further into that later. And the turning of it is just unlike any other cube I've ever felt. It's an amazing feel that I have preferred over many other flagships. Now let's get on to the next cube that we're comparing, the Cubicle Labs MF3RS2M. The Cubicle Labs sticker fell off, don't worry guys, it's a Cubicle Labs cube. And after I was a fan of the stock regular Yuxin Little Magic, along came this cube, the MF3RS2, and I immediately liked this over the Little Magic stock because it was way more stable and felt way more premium. I actually stated this in a comparison video between those two cubes, and wow, is it just really nice. It's about $3 more than the stock non-magnetic Little Magic, which is like $5. This is $8. And yeah, the turning was just extremely stable, and it never locked up, and it felt very, very premium for the low price. This puzzle is a tiny bit more pricey than the Little Magic. Not a whole lot though. It's only like $5 more. Yes, $24.99 on the Cubicle right now. And it's fully magnetized. It's set up by the Cubicle, and currently my main is the Little Magic M, but I've considered switching to this cube many times. So let's go over a few main points that differentiate these two cubes. So first off, the magnetic strength and bump on these puzzles is very different. So the Yuxin Little Magic M, the magnets are insanely strong. They may or may not be stronger than the magnets in the Moyu Weilong GTS3M, which is well known for having pretty strong magnets. So these magnets are extremely strong, and you can definitely feel it during solves. And it's just extremely stable, and it can have some popping issues if it is too loose. And I definitely wouldn't put a slow lube in this, because then the strong magnets just make it feel really, really just slow. And so don't worry about it being too fast, because the strong magnets greatly compensate for it. Now onto the RS2. I'm just going to call it the RS2M from now on. And the magnets in this are significantly lighter. This used the Cubicle Labs strong magnets, and this, I'm assuming, used the light magnets, and it is definitely noticeable. There is still slightly a bump, but it's very, very light. And it's understandable that they put light magnets in this, because without magnets, this puzzle is already extremely stable. Unlike with the Little Magic, which is really fast and prone to overshooting. The shades are really vibrant and contrast each other very well. Now if we look to the RS2, you know, they're just Moyu shades, and you know, they're pretty just boring, you know, they're just really dull. Like, they do work well. I've liked them on other cubes, but I wish they went with other shades, like say on the GTS3M, where they're both very bright. all of them, they all contrast each other well. There's darker reds and blues to contrast the lighter oranges and greens. But on this, they're both just really light, you know? Especially in the blue. And I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that. But also, the shades aren't pretty dark on the Little Magic. There's no light green to contrast the dark blue, or light orange to contrast the dark green. They're both pretty dark, deeper shades. But I can say I'm kind of a fan of the Little Magic shades. Definitely liking the shades of the Little Magic over these shades. So turning this puzzle, I can't really feel the magnets. Like I'm telling myself that I can't feel the magnets, but if I try to turn this, there's definitely a difference in stability. And going back to this, I can almost feel the magnets, but what I feel more is just an increased amount of stability on this puzzle. So yes, the light magnets in this work pretty well, but I wouldn't complain about a medium strength magnet strength either. So these cubes also are slightly different in speed, as I've noticed. The Little Magic is very fast, and which is why the light magnets are in it. And definitely supports a light turning style much more than the RS2M does, which is a naturally slower cube. And I could see it being maybe a bit too slow if you don't put a fast loop in it, although it is set up by Cubicle Labs, so that does help. And yeah, it's just a naturally slow puzzle. Slower than this. And so both these cubes have very nice corner cutting. Let's look at the Yuxin Little Magic corner cutting first. And there's an interesting thing about this. If we test the corner cutting on this, it can get a weird type of walk up. Like if we try to reverse, like it walks up kind of weird sometimes. And and I don't know why it does that, because when doing regular solves, the corner cutting is seamless, but when you're testing it, sometimes it just gets a weird little walk-ups like that. But that never happens during a solve, and it can cut 45. It basically cuts anywhere you want it to. Reverse as well. And I think what's happening when you're testing it, because you're testing it so slowly, these edges and corners are just stuck together from the strong magnetic bump, and they don't separate. But when you're turning fast during a solve, they separate enough, and it corner cuts perfectly. So don't take away that this can't corner cut because it's weird. It's just when testing, it might seem a bit off with the corner cutting. During solves, this corner cutting is better than the RS2M, in my opinion, while still remaining stable. Now if we take a look at the RS2M, this cube corner cuts basically perfectly as well, although slightly less, not as much as you'd want it to. But this cube does support a slightly harsher turning style, or just a light turning style. Either way it works, but it definitely would be really nice with a harsh turning style, because it almost cuts opposite line to line, and reverse is just as good. So corner cutting on these cubes, about the same when solving. Now usually with a comparison type video, like this video, a big thing that comes up is the price difference between the two cubes. But these two cubes are very similar in price. So this is $20, $19.99, I'm pretty sure. This is $24.99, so 25 bucks. And you know, say you just have 20 bucks, you're trying to buy a cube, but you want this, just, you know, go mow a lawn or something, get your extra 5 bucks, because this is definitely higher quality than a $25 puzzle, and is set up by the Cubicle, custom setup, and it definitely shows. This setup is better than anybody could set it up just casually, because they set the amount of lube and the right lubes you need for this to make sure that it is set up well. Also, another thing I forgot to put in is that the turning of these cubes are both clacky. Here's just some raw turning sound to give you an idea. Here's the Little Magic first. Here's the RS2M. Now, I've got to be honest here. I definitely like this over this, but that's a personal thing just because I have a nice light turning style. And if I turned harsh on this, it'd probably pop, and I'd have to tighten it. I've definitely liked this one a lot. The light magnets definitely aren't that noticeable in the solve, but they still work to keep the cube very stable. Which cube should you get? Well, it depends on your turning style, but if you're a cuber who doesn't really know what type of turning style they are perfectly accustomed to, and they just want to try a new magnetic speed cube out, then I'll definitely go with the RS2, just because it fits a lot of turning styles, and it is very cheap and easy to try out. And yeah, it'll fit a light turning style, a hard aggressive turning style. And yeah, it's just an overall nice cube for somebody trying to get a new magnetic puzzle. If you don't know what magnetic puzzle to get, just get this. Now, the Little Magic, honestly, does not feel like it is in a budget line. It has nice, strong magnets and an incredible feel that is unlike any other. This definitely is probably a bit more okay for a lighter turning style, but I could definitely see it working with a harsher, harder turning style. Personally, out of these two, Little Magic is my main, just because I've loved Little Magics for a long time. And yeah, the turning is just unlike any other. The feeling is incredible. I don't think I've felt a cube that is like this any other way. Just the nice light turning of it with the extremely fast fluid movement pairs extremely well with the really, really strong magnets, which I can definitely say I'm a big fan of. Now, the feeling of this, I'm also a pretty big fan of. Honestly, I could see myself maining with this too, if I just didn't love the Yuxin Little Magic so much. So again, I'll definitely get this puzzle if you're just looking for a nice magnetic puzzle that'll work for basically anybody. And this cube is just an amazing puzzle, and definitely potential for a main for a lot of people. I think a lot of people like to use this as a main. I've also heard of a lot of people using this as a main at, like, you know, top level speed cubers like Anton Canton and stuff like that. But honestly, this puzzle, just the feeling of it is incredible. It's been reliable for so long for me. This cube is definitely my favorite among these two, but I've heard mixed reviews about how people's Little Magics have been turning out. I know a lot of people have been using this as their main because the light fluid turning style is very nice. And yeah, both of these cubes are very popular for mains, but if I were you, I would probably go for this just because it will work for a lot of turning styles. This is also right up there, maybe even a little bit better performing than this, but this is a little bit troublesome with the type of turning style you want to use with it. As with this, you can use it for many different turning styles. So at first, I was pretty shocked with how stable and nice feeling the RS2 felt, and that's because it has a very, very nice core with the little caps here, and the mechanism is just very premium compared to, say, the Little Magic, which just has a standard regular core. Although it does have some grooves, the RS2 definitely has a more shaped and better feeling mechanism. The RS2 has a much thicker and well-built mechanism than the Little Magic, which is pretty thin and looks like it's cheaply made. And yeah, if you're thinking about getting the non-magnetic version, you're not quite up to the level of magnetic puzzles yet, then this is definitely going to be very unstable and hard to control. Although it can be very fast, I definitely wouldn't recommend a stickered version because the stickers are just cheap and the plastic feels kind of weird. Now, if you're looking for an RS2, there's also an RS3 that came out, and it feels slightly different than this. It's a bit slower and more stable and smoother feeling. But this cube has been reliable for me. This cube was reliable for me for a long time. And yeah, it just feels really premium and definitely feels much more expensive than it should be. Thank you guys for watching this video. Remember, this is LEMONSQARE comparing the MF3RS2M and the Yuxin Little Magic M, both from Cubicle Labs. Also, I threw in the MF3RS2 and the Yuxin Little Magic stock non-magnetic in a little bit, and both of these are also good puzzles, but these two are phenomenally good, and I'd recommend any of these puzzles. I'll leave the link to all of these in the description. Definitely must-buys for any intermediate to advanced solving cubers. And yeah, this has been LEMONSQARE. See you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Magic. What the heck?